The Galactic Council chamber stretched like a palace of light and steel. Delegates from countless species filled the room, confident, arrogant, certain humanity was insignificant. Kay stood at the center, calm and unshakable, scanning the room with sharp eyes. "We do not want war," he said quietly. "But if forced, humanity will respond. And the galaxy will remember it." Murmurs of amusement swept the chamber. They thought him bluffing. They had mocked humans for centuries, calling them fragile and reckless. Yet Kay carried the weight of Earth's history in his gaze, cities rebuilt from ashes, civilizations that survived impossible odds. The delegates did not understand that human strength was patient, cunning, and deadly. It was silent until provoked. And when it struck, it left nothing standing. Some laughed openly, thinking a few thousand human ships could never match the combined fleets of the galaxy. Others watched, uneasily shifting in their seats. Kay's calmness unnerved them. "Do not mistake patience for weakness," he warned. "We do not forget. We do not forgive." The chamber's laughter faltered. For the first time, doubt crept into the hearts of the mighty. Across the border worlds, alien fleets prepared for conquest, expecting compliance from Earth. They struck colonies, burned settlements, and captured survivors. Yet each act of aggression fed humanity's resolve. Kay had anticipated their arrogance, their overconfidence. Plans were already in motion, shadows moving across star systems, unseen, waiting for the perfect moment. On Holstrom, humans fought desperately but were overwhelmed. Survivors were taken, their defiance unbroken even in chains. The Council celebrated, certain the humans had been crushed. But Kay had already begun the next stage: evacuation, sabotage, and hidden fleets. Every retreat was a calculated step, every loss a preparation for vengeance. Humanity was building a storm they could not see. Alien commanders believed they were in control, ignoring warning signs. Human resistance seemed scattered, weak, and easily dismissed. Yet the humans' silent patience unnerved some officers. Supplies vanished, ambushes shattered fleets, and rumors spread of unseen weapons. The galaxy laughed, blind to the precision and memory of the species it thought fragile. Then came the first strike. From hidden docks, Kay's warships emerged like shadows made of steel and fire. The enemy fleets panicked, firing blindly, but the humans moved with exact precision. In moments, 10 cruisers were gone, entire squadrons scattered. The galaxy watched, stunned. Humanity had not just survived, they had learned, adapted, and now struck with merciless efficiency. Silence fell across the stars. Kay stood aboard the flagship, eyes calm, voice steady as he issued orders. The galaxy would never underestimate humans again. They were not weak. They were patient, relentless, and merciless when provoked. And this was only the beginning. Humanity had awakened, and the reckoning had begun. The galaxy was in shock. News of the human ambushes spread faster than light, reaching even the most distant corners of the Council. Fleets that had been confident, arrogant, now trembled at the thought of unseen enemies. Kay's strategy was simple yet devastating: strike silently, hit precisely, vanish before the enemy could react. Humanity had become a ghost in the void. Alien commanders tried to regroup, but every plan failed. Their formations collapsed, communications jammed, and panic set in. Kay observed from the flagship's bridge, his calm voice cutting through the chaos. "Prepare the next wave," he ordered. "We strike where they least expect us. No mercy for those who provoked us." The crew moved with deadly efficiency, trained for this moment for years in secret. Reports came from Lorien, a world thought to be lost. Human settlers had evacuated methodically, leaving behind traps, mines, and ambushes in every corridor and orbit. Entire squadrons vanished before even realizing the danger. The galaxy's overconfidence had been humanity's greatest ally. Kay's eyes flicked across the star charts, calculating, predicting every move. Meanwhile, whispers in the council grew. Some delegates admitted quietly what none would say aloud: humans were not like other species. Their patience, memory, and will to survive created a weapon stronger than fleets or weapons. Kay had proven that silence was not surrender, it was preparation, a slow-burning storm waiting for the perfect moment to explode. On Aridan, alien soldiers celebrated victories too early. The humans responded with sudden, surgical strikes that destroyed barracks, vehicles, and weapons depots. Fear replaced arrogance. Even the soldiers who had fought humans before felt unease. Legends of the Earth species, once dismissed as myths, began to feel real. Humanity's quiet fury was a terror the galaxy had never witnessed. The coalition hastily gathered new fleets, hoping sheer numbers would overwhelm Earth. Kay anticipated their arrogance. Hidden human warships slipped past patrols, striking supply lines, command ships, and communications hubs. Each hit was precise, calculated, leaving the enemy paralyzed. It was not chaos, it was human strategy, refined through centuries of struggle and survival. Alien empires began to fear the unseen. Colonies that thought they were safe reported strange disappearances of entire ships. Fleets vanished without a trace, leaving only silence in their wake. Kay's plan was unfolding perfectly. Humanity's shadow grew longer across the stars, a warning the galaxy would never forget. Every silent moment was a strike waiting to happen. The first massive human flagship revealed itself at the edge of a quiet system. Its armor gleamed like black glass, thrusters roaring blue fire. Kay stood at the command center, observing the enemy panic. A single broadside obliterated 10 ships in an instant. The galaxy realized the humans were no longer just survivors, they were predators, patient and precise, calculating every move of their adversaries. Silence returned, heavier than before, as the galaxy grasped the reality. Humanity was awake, unstoppable, and merciless when provoked. Kay's gaze swept across the stars, calm but deadly. "We warned you," he whispered. The message had been delivered. The reckoning had begun, and the universe would never again mistake silence for weakness. Humanity had risen, and there would be no mercy for those who ignored the warning. The remnants of the coalition fled into the outer rim, thinking distance would save them. But Kay had already predicted their escape routes. Human fleets moved like shadows across the void, striking where the enemy felt safe. Kay's mind was a chessboard, every move calculated, every trap set years in advance. Silence was not stillness, it was the sound of inevitability approaching. On the world of Hellstrom, humans rebuilt what the aliens had destroyed, not just out of necessity, but as a statement. Kay oversaw the operations personally, ensuring that every ship, every weapon, every soldier was prepared for the next confrontation. The humans had learned that survival alone was not enough, they had to teach the galaxy a lesson it would never forget. Alien empires scrambled to respond. They gathered fleets, fortified borders, and sent ambassadors with pleas and threats. But Kay anticipated them all. Humanity's response was silent, patient, and devastatingly effective. Every move the coalition made played directly into Kay's hands. The galaxy had underestimated not just the humans, but Kay's genius at exploiting their arrogance. From orbit above Tauran Prime, Kay watched the alien leaders beg for mercy, their once proud voices trembling. He did not smile, did not gloat. Calmly, He gave the orders that would topple centuries of empire: precise strikes on command centers, sabotage of infrastructure, and surgical attacks on military forces. The galaxy began to understand that humanity's strength was not in numbers, it was in strategy, patience, and relentless execution. The news of these strikes spread like wildfire. Entire civilizations whispered in fear, asking the same question: how can a single species from a small blue world accomplish this? K knew they would ask it, and he allowed them to feel the dread of that question. Humanity's silence was a weapon, and K wielded it with mastery. In hidden shipyards across human-controlled space, new fleets were being built in secret. K oversaw every detail, from experimental weapons to stealth systems capable of disappearing into the void. Humanity's power was growing unseen, like a tidal wave waiting for the perfect moment to crash. K's calm demeanor belied the storm he was creating. The coalition, still blinded by arrogance, launched a counterattack. They believed overwhelming numbers would finally crush Earth's forces. But K's strategies turned their pride into folly. Ambushes, decoys, and precise strikes destroyed fleets before they could organize. Each battle was a lesson, and each loss a message: humanity does not forgive. Humanity does not forget. By the time the Council realized the scale of the threat, it was too late. Entire sectors were under human control, and K's presence was felt across the stars. The galaxy understood that silence had been the calm before the storm, and K had been the hand guiding it. Humanity had risen, unstoppable, and the reckoning had only just begun. The galaxy had fallen silent, not from peace, but from fear. K stood on the bridge of the flagship, watching fleets move with deadly precision. Every world that once mocked humanity now trembled under the weight of its wrath. K's calm eyes reflected the vastness of space, and the inevitability of what was coming. Across human-controlled sectors, fleets advanced without hesitation. Entire empires that had once boasted of invincibility now found themselves trapped in a web of strategy they could not escape. K orchestrated every maneuver, every strike, as if the stars themselves were extensions of his will. Humanity's message was clear: provoke no more, or face total annihilation. On the Coalition's capital worlds, panic spread like wildfire. Leaders begged, pleaded, even offered their fleets as tribute. K's reply came not in words, but in action. Strikes obliterated weapons factories, fortresses, and command centers, leaving behind ruins that whispered the fate of those who underestimated him. Silence had become a weapon sharper than any missile. Every human commander followed K's guidance, acting as extensions of his mind. Ambushes in asteroid belts, sudden assaults from cloaked ships, coordinated sabotage, the galaxy had never seen warfare like this. K's genius was not just in victory, but in teaching a lesson: the underestimated always strike hardest. Even the Council, once the most powerful assembly in the galaxy, could only watch in horror. Their arrogance had allowed humanity to rise in secret, and now there was no stopping the wave. K's calm composure contrasted the chaos around him, his presence alone reshaping the fate of civilizations. When the dust settled, entire empires lay in ruins, their fleets shattered, their leaders humiliated, their worlds scarred. Humanity did not celebrate. They did not gloat. Under K's guidance, they stood silent, patient, and dominant. The galaxy now knew the truth: humanity was not fragile, not weak, and never to be provoked. K looked toward the stars, knowing this was only the beginning. The galaxy had learned a hard truth: silence does not mean surrender, patience does not mean weakness, and a human led by vision and strategy is unstoppable. The shadow of humanity would forever loom over the stars, and K would always be the hand shaping that destiny.